Hmm. Mhm.
Oh no, I hate websites that do this. Ugh. You know what I abhor? Like
What?
when they have drop-down menus, but
Yep.
they have that teeny tiny, like 1 pixel gap between where it drops down and where you hover over it. So we try to get down to it, it disappears.
Yep. Yep.
Their
That's
website
called
has one of those.
that's called bad design.
Ugh, makes me- If I had a kid here, I'd withdraw them just for that.
Let's see here. Well, that was weird. I don't know where that came from, but it was not me.
I don't actually see on here where it has job openings.
Hmm.
Let's try this. Openings?
Ah.
Nope.
Hmm.
Volunteer opportunities. No, I'm not volunteering.
Oh, where's your sense of whatever?
I left it at the paycheck.
School something. School support, love, the whatever.
Oh, thank you for the tale. I greatly appreciate that.
Mhm. Whoa, I'm totally out of focus. Never mind. I'm good.
Ooh, okay. What about this? What about down here? Ooh. Mm. Yes, I see you. I know you're here. I promise you. You're very hard to miss.
I don't know about that.
Yep, still here. Good to know. Oh, yep, you're back. Okay, yep. Yep, good to see you. I appreciate the love.
It's game time, sir.
Ah! All right.
So I'm ready when you're ready, sir.
Oh, wait. I'm assuming the position. Okay, let's do it.
That didn't sound right.
Is it supposed
Sweet
to?
Jesus, yes!
What?
We're at the one by 13. That makes them 16, or sorry, 17 and 1 for the season. Thank you very much.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Yes, yes, I
What
like to take it. Very
are
nice.
they are they predicted to make it in bracketology to the tournament?
Yeah, right
Or
now
do
I
they have
think
to
they're at a 13 or 14 seed.
but do they have to win out of the Big South tournament?
No, they got to win out. There's no way.
Okay.
I mean, they're good, but uh, everybody's not going to give them any credit whatsoever.
They're not going to get an out-large bid.
They should, but they won't. Because potentially, I mean, as it is, there's a very good chance that they could just run the table. Then then it's not going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see them win. I'd like to see them just get in, just because they won everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pretty close to being able to just call themselves regular season champs, since they've only lost one game. I think the
I
next
hear you, yo.
closest has got 4 losses. So,
Right.
oh shit! Hold on a second, people. Hold on.
I'm confusing. Are we doing the show? Because you're like, yeah, we're doing a show.
Yeah, we're doing a
But
show, but
then,
I need to do something real quick.
uh, 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 uh.
I need to make sure that we're actually on all the stuff that I say we're on. Excuse me. Let's see. It says, yep, that's right.
What? You
And,
provide.
hmm,
That's just dumb.
Yep, that looks good. And finally, All right, it's time to party.
Are we partying?
Yep.
Where's the party?
Hold on. Are you trying to jump through your computer screen?
I could do that idea. I'm just leaning forward.
Because your head is like super duper close. Let me get a little bit closer to my camera then, because
All right, I'm back in the normal position. I kind of adjust positions during the show. Have you never noticed that?
sure.
I'll kind of lean in, lean out, lean in, lean out. Depends how
Okay,
excited
hold
I
on.
am.
There we go. All right. Damn it.
By the way, the on Twitch, the wait, actually,
What?
what if I do this? Hold on, I'm changing up my view. Oh, that is so weird.
What?
I'm refreshing again to see what happens. So when I went to the Alt Fusion Twitch page, Twitch had a pop-up of Alt Fusion Live right over your face.
Nice.
It's gone now.
Oh.
I mean, I could make your head go away. Again, I'm fine with that.
No. We'll work with what we got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's do this hardcore style.
Oh, it's been done.
All right, then. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started.
All right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Yo, it is good to see y'all. But what y'all cannot see, which is very sad, is I'm down here busy being preoccupied. Oh, there she is, scratching Rose's head. So I might have to abandon the show to
I'm
keep her
sorry.
occupied.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie. I'm joined once again by the prolific cover himself and apparently guest star Rose.
It is good to be here. I'm always excited for my Thursday night of the show to talk about all things video games for the last week or two. And hopefully with news brought to us by our beautiful audience.
Yes. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you will forgive me. I got really sick last week and was out of commission Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday. So there was no Thursday night hangout last week. But we'll try to make up for it this week.
And how are you feeling now, good sir?
Much better.
Excellent.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. It is a weekly live show where we try our best to cover all the topics that you, the audience, provide to us because we know that's the stuff you want to talk about. If you haven't submitted a topic, a question, discussion point, have no fear. You can drop it in the chat at any time, and we'll try to add it to this week's show. If we do run out of time, we will add it to the beginning of the next week's show.
Are people like really afraid of not being able to get their topics in, or is that more of like an annoyance or concern? Are they really actually fearful of this?
I think it's just there's probably some like unknown factor of, well, crap, I really wanted to ask this question, but I forgot to actually like post it. So I don't know if I'm going to remember it next week.
Okay.
I think that's the fear.
All right.
All right. So without further ado, let's get into the first topic/question.
What is that topic/question/pondering of the universe?
Okay, so as all of you out there know, there's these individuals in the gaming world, gaming community, that go by the moniker of cheaters.
Wait, there's individuals?
Oh, there's more than individuals.
Wow.
You know, there's always people out there who are trying to game the system
Yes.
or game the game. And many people utilize like external programs, bots, whatever, little hacks and loopholes to help them be better than their opponent through illegal means.
Yes.
One of the games that has been hit now has been hit with 3 rounds of bans since it was originally released in August 2019 is a game called Call of Duty Warfare.
Call of Duty.
So, like I said, it was released in August 2019. In April 2020, which would have been what? That's 8.
10
So
months ago.
yeah, 10 months after the release, they banned 70,000 accounts.
Okay.
And then in the month of September, they banned an additional 20,000 accounts.
Hmm.
And they have uh, just banned in the past week an additional 60,000 accounts. So that, my friends, is a grand spanking total of 150 thousand user accounts with bulk bans. Now I'm sure there's like one-offs here and there, but you know, as we've talked in previous episodes, companies like to show off big numbers when they hit the ban hammer.
Well, I mean, big games are going to get the big popularity as far as people trying to cheat, especially PvP oriented games. So you can get that one big edge over your opponents that they don't have.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not exactly sure what all the software. I understand that the vast majority of this was some specific types of software that helped with, probably uh,
Aimbotting.
yeah, probably aimbotting. I do remember that there was a wonderful case of why cheaters never prosper. With there was a big time streamer who used to stream Counter Strike, and they accidentally tabbed, alt tabbed the hack onto the stream, which basically allowed the gamer to see through walls.
Nice.
Like,
That
oopsie
was a bad old
daisy.
tab. Yep. That's embarrassing.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, cheaters suck, especially online games, because they're ruining the experience for other gamers
Agree.
and creating a unintended advantage that is outside of the social construction of what we've created for the normalcy of a game. And it just people suck.
See, okay. See, here's the thing, and I mean, I might be in the minority. If once again, if you're going to cheat, okay, if you're like, oh my god, I suck at this game, I have to cheat to make myself feel better about myself, then do it in single player. If you're gonna
Well, yeah,
cheat, do
that's
it in single
different.
player.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, if it's a single player, then I really don't care in that case.
There's some people
Um,
out there like, but you should cheat like ever.
that's different. If it's not, it comes down to basically ethics in general. If it's
Yeah.
not bothering somebody else, and it's really only affecting yourself, then kind of whatever. Like, yeah, do your thing.
Yeah.
Of course, it becomes tricky, like, say, a game like Diablo, right?
Yep.
That is, you can play the entire game single player, but you can also then jump in a multiplayer. So there could be a little bit of potential gray area there. I imagine your circumstance, you'd be like, well, if you're going to cheat, only do it if you're doing single player. But that player could also very easily then obviously jump into a multiplayer.
Right.
I mean, that was always, especially old school Diablo with the dupe cheats was a huge deal.
Hmm.
I remember doing that probably around, what was that, like sixth grade up at our friend's house. But like, it was also at the time, it was a novel thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, you realize you could dupe gold, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it's also kind of not that it's okay, but like in a PvE game like Diablo, it's also a little bit different to me
Yeah.
because you're not real. I mean, okay, you get advantage over another player for PvE, yip de doo.
Uh, Player versus
I mean,
environment, just in case no one knows. Some
yeah,
people
sorry,
out there
player
don't.
versus environments. I know there's ladders and whatever, but
Yeah.
still, okay, it's player versus environment. It's not the end of the world necessarily, but player versus player PvP,
Yeah.
that's like a whole different ball game. Which I would imagine that's where the majority of cheating goes,
Oh yeah.
because there's such a large incentive to cheat in the PvP games because you want to show that you're better than everyone else. Even though if you have to show you're better than everyone else by cheating, are you really better than everybody else? I don't know. Maybe we should ask the Houston Astros what they think.
Ouch.
Oh,
Ooh, that stings. No, see the thing is, and I'm right there with you, Zelius. And I just want to put a little asterisk by when Zelius is talking about player versus environment PVE. I'm assuming that you're just doing single player offline, or it's how offline you could get now.
sure.
Not multiplayer with PVE elements,
Yeah,
which
I
is
would
how
agree.
I MMO is. I
Like
MMOs.
when you play Defiance. Like
Yeah,
Defiance is a there's no technically single player Defiance, but you can play it single player like.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, I hear that.
Man, I gotta stop moving around. My camera just there we go. My camera
Yep,
keeps
I
going.
was like, ah, is that
Yeah,
my glasses?
no, it's
I've
my
only drank
camera.
a little bit. Is it too much
Uh,
already?
and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I was moving around so I could get my Mountain Dew because I'm thirsty.
I thought you were just very excited, and the camera just
No,
couldn't
that
keep
too.
up with
That too. Um,
Charlie being the Flash.
yeah. Shoo zoom. Um, the funny thing is that you see all these huge like bands from the these PvP games, but there are so many gamers or so many people who play these games that probably have quit because of the vast number of cheaters, and it's one of those things where yay, they got rid of 60,000 cheaters in the past, I don't know, uh, 10 months. 10 months again? Were they dropping every 10 months? Interesting. Um, the last 10 months, they accumulated 60,000 cheaters and they dropped them. But what about this 10-month gap here? Were we trying to hold for a big number? Because I was getting my ass whooped by people who were cheating for 4 or 5 months, and you weren't doing anything. You weren't even returning my call.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of online games, unfortunately, and you have it's cheating, but just as other issues, as you also have a big issue is, oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart of what it's called. When you're like a really good player and you create a new account, so you face
Oh,
stomped
it's
the, I just
well, alt
completely forgot.
alt account or your
No,
nerfing. Mm,
I think it starts at the end. Wow, I just had a bad brain fart. But that's a big issue too in PvP, especially squad-based games
mhm.
where one player can really make the game unfun for the other team if they're that much better. So, like for instance, you're playing Overwatch and you're like, let's just say you're Silver League, which you're okay, um, and then you get like a Grandmaster player who comes in as PvP, and they're going to absolutely annihilate those other six players.
Yeah.
If and you can know pretty quickly if they have a Smurf. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, Smurf.
Uh,
Duh.
yeah, you're gonna pretty quickly know, like if they're really good, like Smurf, and they're just gonna annihilate you. Then it's like, well, this isn't any fun.
Hmm.
So yes, cheaters suck, but there's also unfortunately other elements which also can take away the unfunness of a online game. Like I don't mind losing in a game if the other team's just better than you. Like,
Right.
and you're only gonna win 50% of your game statistically overall. That's just
What?
life.
No, I'm gonna win 95% of my games. Come on, Zelius, pick it up. No,
Well, I know you're better than the rest of us with your Mountain Dew powers.
yes.
But when you get a player who's just going to make it so you can't win because they're just so much better, that's when it's like, I
Right.
hate
Well,
life.
so um, I think the vast majority of the world who are tuned in to the Alta Confusion Thursday Night Hangout either live or watching this on YouTube or listen to this on one of your podcast streaming of choice. Cheating's not the only problem that game online gamers run into. You've got rage quitters. You have the AFK people. I love
Hmm.
AFK where they're there 1 second and then poof.
Yep.
I mean, they're still there in the game, but they're bye bye. Or you have those people who troll, which that's an art form, but
At least trolls you can normally ignore.
true.
Not always. The worst to me, that end, of course, is not just trolls, but legitimate toxicity, um, which,
Yes.
at least in my experience, has usually presented itself in the form of massive misogyny, where, I mean, unfortunately, read stories all the time of where female gamers won't even speak on comms because as soon as they do, very unsavory comments are made
Yep.
just because of the fact they're female, which is stupid and unfortunate and wish it was not a thing, but it is a thing.
Yes.
Um, and it's just it sucks, and it's anybody who does not think it's an issue, and especially PvP or squad based games, has a massive head up the ass of themselves and does not recognize reality.
Agreed. Um, Now, I really did not want to make this segue, but since we're bringing up misogyny and like sexist remarks, uh, the next bit of news in the world of video games, video game development, it has become, unfortunately, more and more commonplace for these stories about sexual harassment to come out.
Mm,
The one of the big names that just recently is getting sued for sexual harassment is the Riot Games CEO Niccolo Laurent,
mm.
and he's being sued by his executive assistant, um, who she's claiming that there was numerous times that he wanted her to come to his house while his wife was away, um, and that uh, and that she left the company in 2020 based on multiple well-documented complaints from a variety of people.
Wow.
Now, here's a fun little tidbit about the CEO. He apparently was quoted telling female employees to handle COVID stress by having children.
Yep, I would say that's no bueno.
Yeah.
No, yep, no, that's not good.
Now, of course, as PR firms go, uh, the PR branch of Riot Games has come out and said that the CEO has pledged his full cooperation and support during this process, and that they are committed to ensuring that all claims are thoroughly explored and appropriately resolved. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That is a crock of shit. There,
Well, of course that's what they're gonna say. You
I
gotta
know that. I
make
mean,
it sound
that's
all nice.
he's we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Look, if it wasn't a big name guy, and it wasn't brought to the attention of everybody, they just sweep it under the rug.
Mhm.
It's the terrible truth of it all, and hopefully they they find out how bad this guy is, if he is indeed bad. I'm not trying to say right now, oh, he's bad, he's guilty, but I know this is a
Well,
crazy concept, but uh get the evidence and then have people actually look at it, which is going to be really hard. Uh, with the brains and not their hearts. And if he's bad, he's bad. It's not open to a discussion.
well, the cynic in me also says it's more than that. It's also, if he's guilty, it's not just companies are not moral. They also look at the bottom line. So you make a decision. Do you decide, is this person, whatever the financial payout is for the discrimination, is it less than what he's going to bring into the company at his position? Because let's be honest, Riot Games has been a very successful video game publisher and
Agreed.
producer of video games. So does Riot Games decide that he's worth the trouble regardless of any sexual situation? Because by and large, companies do not make moral decisions. They make them for the bottom line, pure and simple. Now, they may decide that the bottom line looks better by making what they perceive as the moral decision, but they could also decide that financially speaking, it's worth it to just take the hit and, as you put it, sweep it under the rug.
Now, we just had a comment dropped in our chat window here. Our viewer, Eve, from Facebook, had basically voiced what I said. And is, unfortunately, you're right. Women's claims often go unaddressed. And Zelius, unfortunately, you're right with the fact that it becomes a numbers game. Now, here's the interesting twist, okay? So for those out there who may not know, Riot Games has a parent company called Tencent.
Yep.
Basically owns everything in like Asia. So the question, I'd be very interested to see how involved Tencent comes in this process, or if they're going to allow Riot to keep it all in house.
Um, yeah, I couldn't begin to speculate. I have no freaking clue on that.
Our our chatter, Eve, said, which is why women are hesitant to come forward. So terrible. Fully agree. Absolutely 100% agree. Now, let's talk about let's change it away from this topic just a wee bit. Let's talk about another powerful man, and Elon Musk. Elon
Oh, I think
Musk.
I say me and my muscles.
No, not Zelius. Not this time.
Oh, damn.
Elon Musk, of course, has like a ton of different projects. One being SpaceX, um, which of course is the space travel commercial style. Part of SpaceX, though, is something called Starlink,
Oh, yes.
which is going to be satellites that are going to be orbiting the Earth, and he is actually there, or his company is setting up the Starlink satellite internet. Um, you can do pre-orders for $99. Um, the target coverage area is going to be in mid to late 2021, which the coverage area is going to be somewhere in the US, somewhere in Canada, and somewhere in the UK. The company does emphasize that the pre-orders are fully refundable, but the fine print says placing a deposit does not guarantee service. Um, Orders may take 6 months or more to fulfill, and it's going to cost. So you got $99. So it's going to cost $99 a month. But you also have to get the starter kit because you're going to need a dish to connect to the dish up in space, and that is going to cost you $500.
Which also, by the way, does come with a Wi-Fi router also.
Yes.
So that is important. Um, I've actually looked into it, to be honest. My problem with where I live in a condo, so I don't necessarily have a good place to put it because
Yes.
bylaws and all that stuff. But like I mean, one of the big benefits could be people who live in rural areas, because internet out in rural areas still sucks, and traditional satellite internet is usually terrible and stupidly expensive.
Agreed.
So for a lot of use cases, it could actually potentially be a pretty cool service. The other place it could actually be a really big benefit is redundant circuits at businesses. Because usually you want, for businesses, you want fiber for both low latency and high speeds.
Hmm.
But say your fiber goes down, at least you have a redundant circuit for only $99, which for most businesses affordable. It might not be the best, but at least that way you have a quick and easy failover without having to pay hundreds of dollars to pull in another ISP. So it's actually for the price of $99 per month, which is probably what most people are paying for if you just have straight up internet. It's somewhere in that ballpark.
Hmm.
So it's not outrageous. From what I've read, the latency isn't bad. That probably depending where you are, I'm guessing could be questionable. Where I live, I actually put my address in just to see, and I'm definitely potentially in the coverage area.
Nice.
I don't probably plan on getting it, but I was just kind of curious, like, I wonder if I'm there. So it's a pretty cool service. What I'm planning on doing though, if once the SpaceX IPO drops, I totally want to invest in that.
Speaking of which, speaking of investment, Zelius, do you still have money in Bitcurrency or cryptocurrency?
Yes, I have bank currency, and I also have GameStop stock. Although I don't sure
Oh
if it's actually
Christ.
worth anything anymore.
No, it's not.
No,
I've
it's not. I know.
I so there was the cryptocurrency craze was what, like 2 years ago now, I guess, or
Yeah,
so.
I know. I remember because you're like, dude,
I I
cryptocurrency, it's
I
awesome.
put I put
Yeah.
$250 in there and then watched basically my $250 just go into the
Yep.
ground.
I was in the same
And
boat.
I just looked up my cryptocurrency and I'm above $800 now. Yes.
Nice. No,
Yeah.
I'm finally in the positive.
Sweet.
Like literally, like right after I invested is when it plummeted out. I think you
Yep.
got in a little bit before me. But no, I'm in. But that's the whole idea with investing is you just have to write it out. My
Uh
GameStop, I'm gonna be honest, that's not going up,
no.
but I don't care.
Uh s-
Um, GameStop, I know. Um, GameStop, whatever, man.
Sam,
Um,
hold on. Sam Grizzle, I just want to point out that $99, I could buy 5 Alter Confusion t-shirts for that. I'd say that you could probably buy I think let's see here. 5 t-shirts would be $2.80 per T-shirt. I'm pretty sure I could get you a better deal. I think I could get you like one or two more shirts if you're paying $99. But
Charlie, we need a profit margin here. This is also to purchase Ultra Confusion goods for you, like new canes.
I'm good now. My headphones are all set, so it's not like Sam says, I'm stunned by crypto money. It's still tolerated by countries considering how easy it is to hide ill-gotten cash. It's the
Actually,
new what do you call it? Offshore banking.
actually, crypto is FBI knows how to find out where your money is.
Depends on your crypto.
Crypto's not as encrypted as people. It's encrypted, but it's actually trackable. That's the difference.
It depends
Um,
on your crypto.
you
Dude,
believe what you want to believe.
I have been watching these seminars. I don't know. I'm just blowing, you know.
Welcome to Charlie's TED Talk.
Haha! I watch videos and they tell me the truth, therefore it's true. I have drank the Kool-Aid. No,
No,
I
it's now is the big one. What is it? Dogecoin.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one now. Is Dogecoin to invest in.
Whatever, man. Whatever. But you know, it's. I'll be very interested to see how this Starlink stuff goes. Every single time I think satellite connection, it kind of gets me a little spooked. And then there was a story a couple months ago where I think it's NASA was basically like, we got to stop putting more satellites in the sky. We're going to charge you like an arm and an effing leg if you keep throwing stuff up there because it's just going to be too cluttered.
And then Elon Musk is like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's like,
satellites.
I am replacing all of your stuff with my stuff, and I'm giving you a discount. We could put my satellites up like,
No,
Sam goes, is it really that
no,
traceable?
no, I'm actually serious. It's if you actually look into cryptocurrency, it actually is. There's a trail for it because you still have to purchase it with money
Do
somewhere.
you?
Well,
Can't you have
so no,
someone else buy it for you?
well, okay, yes.
Aha! Aha! Flaw! Loophole!
But then you know what? One person knowing it's a secret, two people knowing it is now just out in the open.
Oh, I'm
Whatever
sorry.
there's a saying.
There was a guy who invested $4,000
Mhm.
into this cryptocurrency, and then
Yep.
he mysteriously died.
Now, what is true though is cryptocurrency is almost impossible to hack, meaning
Yeah.
each crypto hash is basically unduplicatable just due to people much smarter than me who came up with the algorithm how to create your crypto coins.
There you go. Okay, so speaking of big name companies, let's talk about Google, and more specifically, the Google Stadia, the game streaming service through Google.
Oh dear.
So first off, many people out there have probably either played or have heard of a game called Terraria, which is it's kind of, I know I'm going to get a lot of very angry people screaming at me, but I kind of see it as like the 2D version of Minecraft. Now, I know there's a lot more that goes into it, but that's the quickest way for those who don't know what Terraria is to explain it, okay?
Just giving it a genre to frame
Yeah.
the conversation. Yeah,
You can
that's fair.
you basically you harvest the wood and the dirt and the rocks, and then you can build stuff. Um, the big thing that has to do with Terraria and Google Stadia is that thank you, Zelius. The very world is at your fingertips as you fight for survival, fortune, and glory. Delve deep into cavernous expanses, seek out ever greater foes to test your mettle in battle, or construct your own city in the world of Terraria. The choice is yours, blending elements of classic action games with the freedom of sandbox-style creativity. Terraria is a unique gaming experience where both the journey and the destination are as unique as the players themselves.
That actually sounds like a fun game.
Once you figure out, like, here's the thing. My problem, I've played Terraria and actually got a little bit into it, but my issue with Terraria, and it's the same with Minecraft, is that you really need to start with a wiki because it's not, it doesn't, it, to like start building some of the most basic stuff, you need someone to hold your hand. You're not going to get it from the game.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's there, copyright 2018, Read Logic, all rights reserved. There you go, Sam. But anyways, Terraria was supposed to be going to the Google Stadia, and it actually had it already got a rating, I think, in the European PEGI system. But the co-creator of Terraria has officially called off development for that version of the game. Why, you may ask? Well, it apparently seems that for a 3-week stretch, he was completely locked out of all his Google accounts. So that meant that he couldn't actually do any work for any Google product.
Or get email, or do YouTube, or
Yeah.
do
So
anything useful. Yep.
so this is what. Okay. So on top of he doesn't have his email, he doesn't have his YouTube, but since he's making something for the Google Stadia, one would kind of extrapolate that he probably has a Google Stadia and he's probably playing games on the Google Stadia, which also means that he has no access to said games for the Google Stadia.
Oh, that's a problem.
So apparently, back in January 16th, he brought it to Google's attention, and Google's just like, I don't know, I don't know. So in the end, it has cost him access to all the apps that he's purchased on Google Stadia. It's now wiped all the data he stored on Google Drive and terminated his Google account, which he's used for more than 15 years.
And the best part is nobody could tell him why.
Exactly.
It's just like, you violated our TOS, and he's like, how?
Why? I'm trying to log in.
My favorite, I think, from the story was when they're like, in order to find out why, do a password recovery. And it's like,
but
huh?
my accounts are gone. How do I do a password recovery on something that doesn't exist? No, it's not. This is kind of this is a much more suckier, more sucky. I don't know.
Crappy.
It's a very crappy situation, and
It really is.
I'm surprised that if it was me, I would find out whomever's in charge of the Google Stadia, drive to the house, kick them in the nuts.
Well,
or
that's
metaphorical
the beauty,
nuts.
is you don't actually know anyone. I remember when we were trying to get so Google gave all the stuff away to schools for free with COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had to upgrade to the Enterprise Edition in order to do it. You cannot talk to a person. Like, there's actually no person that you can actually call. You have to wait for them to call you in order to actually do it. And I'm like, but our service is going to be canceled in a week. What do I do? They're like, somebody will call you. Click.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate the help.
No, so I mean this situation kind of reminds me of many years ago. Someone stole my Battle.net account, and when I finally got it back, I lost access to all my digitally purchased games because I couldn't verify that I own the CD keys for said games
that were in there that the person stole.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so I regained the account, all right? I made you aware that the account was stolen. I then went through all your freaking hoops so I could get my account back. And then all the games that are attached to my account are no longer available to me because I can't verify that I own the games that are attached to this account. Okay, make no sense. Okay. Now, so, wow, Google, good job. A little bit more news from the Google Stadia world, and that is that Google's own internal studio, this is a really original name, Stadia Games and Entertainment, has shut down. The reason is, and this is the direct quote from Google, creating best-in-class games from the ground up takes many years and a significant investment. So does creating a gaming platform. Sorry, I added that part. And the cost is going up exponentially. Given our focus on building on the proven technology of Stadia, as well as deepening our business partnerships, we've decided that we will not be investing further in bringing exclusive content from our internal development team beyond any near-term planned games. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Write down all CD keys and passwords. Self-help tip.
Preferably on a sticky note on your monitor at the office cubicle, so when I walk by, I have all of your banking information.
Oh, please. You know how I do it? Sticky note, yes. On the monitor, no. Under the keyboard, oh yeah.
Oh, life hacks.
Just move the keyboard slightly over and boom, there they are. No one will know. No one will know.
I put my sticky notes in the litter box.
That's disgusting.
The last place anyone would look.
No one wants to look there.
See? It's unhackable.
And
Except
I'm
for now, I've told the world.
And now, look, I'm going to be totally disgusting and honest. That's true. All Zealous' passwords include the word rose. Damn it! And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Pretty sure that cat urine would just destroy any piece of paper in your litter box. Just saying. All right.
Now you don't have my passwords.
Sorry, Zelius. I mean, is Google Stadia really working well? I don't know. Like, I don't know anyone who actually has Google Stadia. It's like, oh my God, this is like my favorite console platform.
So from what I've actually read, so at least on Reddit forums, people who have actually used the Stadia to play games say it is actually a good experience. Like, actually, the latency, the FPS, it's actually pretty much what's been advertised from Google. So as far as the production perspective goes, it seems like it's actually good, honestly. It just seems though that like Google has become such a behemoth where it's like, can they actually do anything new anymore? I mean, you get stories like the Terraria thing, which most game publishers, I mean, hell, even EA, I think, would have figured that out. Yeah. We like to lambaste them. Most game companies would have got this figured out.
Yep.
And yet Google couldn't. And when you see things like that consistently, and you hear stories all the time of all these epic customer missteps of Google, you just wonder, because Stadia working needs to be working for the customer, right? Like,
how about the creator?
Works. Yeah, or I mean, you have to have content,
right?
Yeah, you're right though. If publishers and developers aren't willing to put their stuff on the Stadia,
or don't have the ability to do so,
then that's not going to help either. Because ultimately, a platform, be it PC, like or any of the databases like Steam or Origin, your consoles, they live and die by their library. And if you don't have a sufficient library to be able to stream via the Stadia, then it's not going to work.
Speaking of Steam, did you hear the amazing news about Steam?
Steam Sale of Winter?
Steam has finally officially been released in China.
I didn't know it wasn't out in China.
Because of the strict oversight rules in China, I don't know. I think Steam actually has, close to 50,000 games on it. In China, there'll be 41 games available.
I've read 53.
Well, I got 41, damn it.
Damn it.
But anyways, it's what? That's, oh God, that's like a 1,000th of the full library is what you could get in China. Now every single country that any type of, console or platform exists, there are going to be restrictions on what games can and cannot be purchased within the country. There are certain games that you could buy in the U.S. that you can't buy in Japan or in places in Europe or in Australia or wherever. But it's just, when you look at like the sheer volume of, we've got almost 50,000 games, and then China goes, we got 41. The thing that I want to know is what 41 actually made the cut, and what is required to make the cut. I don't know, but I just find it humorous that 1,000th of the library is the only thing available.
I don't know.
Now, hold on one sec. No.
Oh, so it's actually it looks like it's being done through a partnership with a the China publisher, Perfect World.
Aha! Perfect world.
So so that's kind of where they're probably getting that connection is
So does that mean that
through
only Perfect World games are available on Steam?
it
Haha!
could be.
Yes! We say it's Steam, but it's really our platform. Um, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take a quick minute or two to do a shout out to the friends of the show, and then we'll get back to some more topics. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give some love and support to our friends of the show. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to http://indiecluster.com. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to www.herochiropractic.com. Nerdburger Games is the game design imprint of award-winning RPG designer Craig Campbell. Craig has done a whole bunch of RPG design freelancing in the past. Several years ago, he dove into designing his own RPG. Now, Nerdburger Games has multiple RPGs and is showing no signs of stopping. Nerdburger Games endeavors to create games that explore corners of the RPG landscape that haven't been explored, or haven't been explored very often. These games forego dense gaming mechanics in favor of a lighter rule set that allow players to focus on telling fun, engaging, memorable stories. After yet another successful Kickstarter, their library has increased in size. Currently, the games that at least Zelius and I have played are Capers, Die Laughing, Merzen Acquisitions, and of course, the soon-to-be played Good Strong Hands. For more information, go to www.nerdburgergames.com. Battle and Brew is Atlanta's first and oldest gaming bar and restaurant. Opened in 2005, Battle and Brew had a very modest menu, a few beer taps, and focused heavily on gaming. Now, they have grown to encompass so much more. They pioneered geek trivia in Atlanta and remain the hardest trivia in town. They have upgraded the menu from only a few items to all your bar favorites, and some soon-to-be favorites. They've expanded the gaming and kept everything top of the line. They've taken a good place and made it a great place. A place where the staff listens to your desires and suggestions. A place where you and your friends feel like you're at home. A place where everyone knows your game. For more information about Battle and Brew, go to www.battleandbrew.com. Ow, every single time I see that, I want to go to Battle and Brew so bad. So bad. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We have Battle and Brew. We the last time we did our show, we were talking about the Borderland movie characters that were mentioned. You had Kevin Hart as Roland. You had Kate Blanchett as Lilith. There have been two names added to that list now. And that is Dr. Tannis. It's going to be played by Jamie Lee Curtis. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Tannis is the scientist and archaeologist who specializes in Iridian artifacts and technology. She was basically a huge part of the first Borderlands game. And then, as I stated before, I really wanted to see who they were going to do for Claptrap. And Jack Black is going to be Claptrap.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is actually getting to be a very interesting cast.
Yes.
of characters. Um, Jamie, it's funny because um, Tannis is younger than Jamie Lee Curtis. We'll just say that. But at the
Yes,
same time, Jamie Lee Curtis has that same kind of character as Tannis. So
agreed.
I could totally see that working. I mean, age for this doesn't really. What's actually kind of interesting to me is you see typically in Hollywood, all of the females, especially for action, like they're young, like 18 to young 20s. Um, Whereas they're getting some older actresses for this movie, which is interesting to me.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that they're not just who's the newest young hot female who can't actually act. They're actually getting people who can act for Borderlands of all movies, uh, which is kind of ironic to me. But I mean, this is Jack Black as Claptrap.
that's gonna be
Okay,
awesome.
I'm on board.
I
I'm
know
sold.
that's gonna be awesome.
I'm
I will admit that when this news started coming out, and you if you tuned into our last show, I'm still not 100% sold with Kevin Hart being Roland, but
Yep.
put Jack Black as Claptrap. Now, you got me, you got me. However, Jack Black as being part of a project with Kevin Hart, that could have some very interesting back and forth, which would be quite humorous.
Well,
Um,
I'm hoping that it means that this is just going to be stupidly over the top because
it's
it
got
needs
to
to be.
be.
It's
It's
Borderlands.
Borderlands. It's got to be.
Yeah.
If it's not, then someone's doing it wrong. Actually, Eli Roth is doing it wrong. Um,
That does not inspire confidence. But apparently the writers. I don't remember what they wrote, but I've heard really good thing about the writers who actually wrote the script. So we'll see.
yes, we'll see. So let's talk about another big name out there. And unfortunately, this big name has been out there for all the wrong reason. That, of course, is Cyberpunk 2077's developer, CD Projekt Red, which unfortunately experienced a pretty bad hack recently. That hack stole sensitive company material as well as source code for Cyberpunk 2077, the source code for The Witcher 3, and the source code for Gwent, which is their collectible card game, which I've never
Well,
played.
maybe getting the source code for Cyberpunk can help improve the game.
Now, the individuals who apparently hacked this into the system, stole all this stuff. The rumor is that they actually gave CD Projekt Red a ransom letter, which they're like, no, we ain't doing that. And so reportedly, that bundle of source code was sold on a black site auction for around $7 million. That's the rumor.
Damn. Okay, that's actually a lot.
What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure that part of that is their graphics engine, which
Yeah.
ooh,
Well, and if you're curious, they're also now doing a Kickstarter for a board game.
okay, so let's jump into this. How do you feel about a big name company like CD Projekt Red, or let's say like an EA or a Blizzard or whatever, going the route of Kickstarter for a, I guess, non-traditional, I don't know, not non-traditional. Basically, they're all video games. So how do you feel about that company trying to put together a Kickstarter to do like a board game or a card game or a pencil and paper RPG?
I, for me, Kickstarters have always been an opportunity for basically an up and comer or indie developer who doesn't have that capital to be able to produce something
Right.
basically on the equity of Kickstarters. That's to me what the intent of a Kickstarter is. And a big developer like a CD Projekt Red Key doing this is like defeats the entire purpose of Kickstarter. So I'm personally not a fan of it.
I am in agreement with you. It's just really rubs me the wrong way. Now, that being said, I think that maybe it's because of my love for this company, but Supergiant Games, I think, could get away with this. Um, but I'm with Zelius. This Kickstarter to me is a place that allows creators to maybe do their passion project, or maybe create a name for themselves so they could create bigger things. Hell, I was totally for um, before it just went all to hell. Broken Age, which
Mm.
was I think it was Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer. They're very recognizable names, but they decided to do a project on their own and needed, support from fans like us. That I understand. Let's say that,
That's different. Yep.
developers from CD Projekt Red break off on their own and they want to create their own board game or card game. That's roughly kind of like a spiritual successor to The Witcher. I'd go in on that, but because it is still that company, I don't know. It's in a way it's kind of like uh uh DLC. It's
Well, I would say at least with this, the one it's a little bit maybe potentially different because the board game's actually being created by like a board game company outside of CD Projekt Red. I think it's Go On Board is the company if I remember right, and they're the one actually doing it, and it's licensed by CD Projekt Red. So I could kind of see that because it's not technically CD Projekt Red actually making the board game. It's basically being licensed, but it still is like
it's still weird, I mean, it'd be
it's
like
still it's totally weird. Yeah.
it. I mean, technically, this is a terrible. Well, no, I'll do it this way. It'd be like Blizzard doing a Kickstarter for a Diablo pencil and paper RPG, and it's
Oh,
not it's not Blizzard. It's some pencil and paper RPG studio, but it's got Diablo
Wizards of
attached
the
to it.
Coast.
I'm not going to talk about that. No, it's just. I mean, I understand if you're going to create something like that, you drum up. Oh, let's see here. Sam Grizzle. The board game Monopoly is made by one company. Um, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird.
I agree. I agree. I don't
So
know. But if you think about it, it's in a way. Okay, here's a maybe a really. I know I'm stretching it here,
all right.
but maybe a weird way of looking at it is in a way, early release is kind of like a Kickstarter in a way because you're basically funding a
Early
game.
access.
Early access, sorry. Yes,
Yep.
early access. Because you're kind of funding something. Because most of the time now, video games, at least I know we're jumping from board games to video games, but most of the time, video games now on Kickstarter, you have some kind of demo or something to play.
You
And
have
early
to. I
access,
hope.
well, you hope. And, basically your early accesses on like Steam, everything seems like it's early access on Steam nowadays. And then eventually, maybe it'll become the final version. Who really knows?
Hmm.
But that's kind of it's almost like in a way, this type of content is all moving towards its own variation of a Kickstarter without actually being called a Kickstarter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could I could. I
I know I'm stretching
see
it.
it, but it's a bit of stretch.
I
Uh,
know. I know.
but I don't know. I'm not going to buy into it.
No, and I mean, I think part of it's also when do you know of these products, right? Like for
Right.
us, we've been around Kickstarter since like it first started, and people were buying Kickstarter and $50 for a tuna cookbook.
No,
And
not a
just
tuna cookbook. It was a baked potato book.
sorry, and getting like basically bamboozled. Um, it just products failing left and right, and who knows? It was a really interesting time in the internet in terms of all these different products that you could kick and get your money into and potentially not get anything out of. Um, it was just a different time, and it was a different expectation.
Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up my Kickstarter account to tell you
Oh dear.
when the first
Oh
one
dear.
was for me. Let's see here. That would be when the hell was that? Um, let's see here. This was crap. Come on. The campaign closed. Where the hell's the campaign info? Damn it. Oh, I'll just say sometime in 2013. That'll probably be my guess. And I got dicked over on that one, but I'm not even gonna go to that. Anyways, um, Kickstarter creators and supporters have definitely evolved since the early days, but still, I just don't know. I don't personally. I wouldn't personally throw my money behind this, even though I'm sure with the support of. Actually, to be honest with you, I think that these guys, the go on board people, are probably not going to be. The problem with having a publisher is the publisher can dictate what you can and cannot have in your game, or we're allowing you to use our IP, so you have to follow these rules. So I would be slightly concerned that what they had in mind for the Witcher board game is not going to be what is actually created because of restrictions
Yeah.
or realigning of goals. So I mean, it'll be I'll be interested to see if anybody buys it and if it's any good. I mean, if someone out there supports it and ends up being awesome, then give me a heads up and tell me it's awesome. I still don't think I'd buy it, but I'm not saying that'll be bad.
Well, right now, according to Kickstarter, you have over 10,000 followers of the Witcher project.
But how many are you talk? Is that the backers or just followers?
Just followers.
Oh,
So it's got followers. I mean, obviously, not all of those are going to back it.
yeah.
Um, the funny thing is, if this had been released before Cyberpunk 2077, there'd be no question of it being a
Oh,
phenomenal
absolutely. Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's like they released it 2 months too late, this Kickstarter.
Well, it almost, to be honest to you, it feels like almost a move of like placating the fan base because they're getting sued from like every angle over the fact that they screwed the pooch on Cyberpunk 2077. So yes, we're going to allow this company to create one of our other beloved IPs in board game fashion because we love you, fans. That's what it
Yes.
comes off to
Yep.
me.
I could see that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now, speaking of fans, here's something interesting. There are individuals who lock on to a specific way of doing things, and then they don't like change.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there is a animation studio out there called Studio Ghibli. It's made more movies than I can name, but just some of the highlights there. You got Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Porco Rosso, and some other ones. But there is a movie coming out called Earwig and the Witch, which has a ton of hardcore Studio Ghibli fans up in arms, ready to get their torches and pitchforks going. And the reason is this is their first completely CG movie. It's always been old school standard animation before this point. Now it's all CG. I'm going to be honest with you. I personally do not feel comfortable with the fact that Studio Ghibli is going to do CG because I feel that like some of the depth and awesomeness that was in all the previous movies. I'm not saying that CG makes it like gimmicky or feel cheap, but you got to like knock it out of the park. And with the way that I have grown accustomed to how Studio Ghibli movies look, trying to make it, that 3D CG, I just feel like it's not going to connect as well. And the story might be amazing, but I think it would take me more time to actually really appreciate it than I would if it was just, old school standard animation.
So I'm taking a quick look at some of the CG from it.
Hmm.
It definitely looks like they're almost going for a very accentuated CG effect.
Yes.
Like in terms of almost like old school plays where everything was very over the top and enunciated. So it could be, I'm just obviously projecting here a little bit because I don't actually know anything about it, is that, I mean, they know how to tell a story. So it could be that they full well intended for this to be CG with this type of animation to help further tell the story that maybe they felt they could not do a traditional animation.
No, the paycheck was humongous, and they were like, we could do a CG movie.
That could be it too.
That's really what it boils down to. I think Earwig and the Witch, they might actually have an exclusive on HBO Max for that, for like the first
Oh,
whatever. Yeah. If there's enough zeros on that paycheck, I think they'll bend the rules. In this crazy ass world we live in. Let's see here.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to pull it up real quick here. Uh, bu- bu- bu-
is it really so crazy if it's large paycheck? Just saying. Just saying.
no, it's not crazy, but it would make a lot more sense.
Yes.
I love this. Um, wow. User review. CGI was terrible. The movie wasn't good, and the characters were terrible. This was just horrible.
Oh, well.
God awful. Not what Ghibli was. Nice. Um, I don't know. It just looks. It doesn't look at. This is gonna sound funny, but it doesn't look as crisp as all the other movies. Even though some of those movies are from, I don't know, like the '80s. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'll still check it out uh, if someone gives me their, I guess, HBO Max account or whatever. But um, Sam Grizzle says, sidebar: the first time a movie was digitally made and computer geeks could see, that's what Tom Cruise looks slash sounds like in Zero and Ones. Let's make our own. Why hasn't that happened yet? Too many bits? Wait a minute. First time a movie was digitally made and computer geeks could see, that's what Tom Cruise looks sounds like in Zeros and Ones. Let's make our own. Why hasn't that happened yet? Because some people, Tom Cruise is a very polarizing figure now, and some people would like to see the Tom Cruise Zeros and Ones hit with a very powerful electromagnet.
Hey, you know what? I still enjoy his over the top action movies. So, eh.
Um,
And I'll just ignore his other crazy activities.
make fake actors real. Look real. I mean, we're now seeing like the hologram. I know it's still in its infancy, but you see in these hologram concerts where you
Yep.
have Elvis and Michael Jackson performing on a stage, which of course they're both dead. Well, Elvis
Oh,
isn't, but he just went home. He's an alien. If you don't get that reference, go watch the movie. And I'm not going to tell you what movie because I'm cooler than you. Um,
oh,
I foresee a day of fake computer actors. Oh, absolutely. That
yes,
yes,
yep.
yes. Because well, let's take one thing into account. Hollywood likes de monnaie, and if you can make a movie with digital representations of famous actors, you do not have to pay hazard pay or insurance pay or have to pay for utilizing huge chunks of um, property and sets. It's all computer. The of course the problem is that it takes longer to render, uh, to edit it, because there's a lot of zeros and ones. Yeah, that's true, Sam. They never grow old and they never get DUIs that you know of. But I'm sure that there's probably some uh, fake computer generated AI that is thinking, I need to drink and drive.
So, hundreds of years from now, when androids are sentient, can an android get a DUI?
What would be considered a DUI by Android standards?
Mm,
Because pretty sure alcohol won't have any effect on the system.
I mean, if they're fully sentient. Are we going to create synthetic androids that also then have organs?
Oh God, now we're doing Bicentennial Man, which is a very dated reference. If you don't know what that is, it's a weird movie.
I mean, what are we going to make our androids? Are they just going to be fully metal, or are we going to try to clone human parts?
All right, Terminator. Um,
Just saying.
yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take a quick second to tell you that Alter Confusion every single year partakes in something called Extra Life. Extra Life is our way of giving back to um, the amazing people. Oh my gosh, let me try this again. Extra Life is gamers what they do best. That's gaming. What Extra Life aims to do is help sick and injured children at chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. For Alter Confusion, it's always been the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. All the funds that are raised through Extra Life go directly to that hospital. It's unrestricted funds. This means that a hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars you raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. This is our 10th year straight, so definitely check it out. Zelius asks, what gamepad is that? And I'm going to go with, I think that's Sega. Isn't it Sega?
No, the Sega had 3 buttons, not 4.
What is that then? I don't know.
I don't know.
An off-brand PS2? Yeah, it might be an off-brand PS2 controller. I don't know.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that I did an apology video a couple of weeks ago, but I do want to tell you that I am going to make sure that I right all the wrongs. If you want to send a physical gift to Alter Confusion, all you got to do is mail it to 1551 Dunwoody, that's Dunwoody, Village Parkway. This is a super duper important thing for both you and me, and that is number, which is the P.O. Box number 88276. The city is, once again, Dunwoody, Dunwoody, Georgia. Zip code is 30338. I will not let stuff sit in the P.O. Box for months on end. I will attempt to check it every 2 weeks to try to avoid having to do another apology video for boxes getting lost because the post office has some mandate of a specific amount of time before they will send it back to sender. And if it was delivered to the post office via UPS, then it gets sent back through UPS. And if it goes back to the warehouse that the product came from, so basically if you order something online to send to Alter Confusion and it's one of those items that I screwed the pooch on, you may not know. So go check.
That's crazy, man.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to tell you that Alter Confusion also has something called Patreon. Patreon is a way to help Alter Confusion survive. And it is very, very important and helpful for you, fans, supporters, become active participants in the work we love to do. What this is it is a monthly donation of either $1 a month, which would be $12 a year, or $5 a month, which would be $60 a year. And that helps us cover fees once, and I pray this happens, conventions start coming up. It'll help cover convention fees and hardware upgrades or equipment trying to resolve equipment issues. So if you have the capacity to become a patron of Alter Confusion, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/alterconfusion and be our patron today. And also, if you are at the $5 level, you get to be added to the Friends of the Show segment on the Thursday Night Hangouts.
We have friends?
Indeed. All right, so we have. I'm gonna shoot one more quick story at you, and then we will wrap this up. And this is just a quick thing, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that speaking of conventions, I hope that everyone is still able to experience convention-like atmospheres in 2021. I know that there's a lot of conventions out there that have postponed completely, but there are two conventions that are scheduled to go this year, and they're both going strictly digital, and that, of course, is BlizzCon 2021 and E3 2021. Um, BlizzCon has a very I'm going to be honest with you. I like the fact that there's going to be virtual conventions to go to, but it's I can't do it. I just can't do it. I I've been doing conventions as a fan table and as a panelist and as a media journalist for like 10 years. And the reason why I'm able to remember to go places is that I'm physically there. I won't remember that BlizzCon 2021 is happening or what the exact panel is. I'm
But yet you
sorry.
remember every Thursday night. I have faith in you to remember these things, sir.
I have a okay, first of all, it's every Thursday night. I have to come to my computer every Thursday night. I also have reminders on basically 7 different calendars. Um and I actually talk to people about the upcoming show. So it's not
What if I called you every hour and be like, remember, go to your convention, sir?
you wouldn't do that.
This is true.
Let's yeah, exactly.
What if Sam called you?
That Sam would be more likely to be like, you know what? I saw a really good uh, Battlefield video that really enhances or showcases why you should play the game. And I'll be like, Sam, as I've discussed many, many times, I don't play those type of games. I have nothing against those games. I'm sure they're beautiful, breathtaking, amazing, but it's just not my type of game.
Felt like it's a good time to start.
No, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the closing part of the. There goes Sam. Battlefield 1 is the greatest FPS of all time. There's many people who would think otherwise. But if that is your opinion, I believe you that you believe that that is it. They are wrong. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have unfortunately reached the end of our show for this week. If you have any topics that you didn't get a chance to drop into the chat or that you want us to talk about next week, all you got to do is hit us up through any of our social media means or, drop in the chat next Thursday. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, it's been a pleasure to give you everything come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. Will be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. My helps if my mic is on. Okay, so side note, sidebar, whatever. I am an individual who is a fan of the show, longtime fan of the show, has reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in having their musical talented brain to maybe update the theme song, the intro and outro. And I said, why yes?
So we have
So
an intro song?
yes, Zelius,
Oh,
there's an
hey.
intro and an outro every single week.
Oh, I assumed it was just Charlie meowing.
No, and I would never meow.
You almost. That was more like a moo.
Meow,
It's more like a moo.
meow. Anyways,
It's like a
so
cow mixed with a cat.
so that's kind of cool.
Yep.
I just finished playing a game called Call of the Sea. If you are a patron, you would have had early access to the playthrough playlist. That will be going to the public very shortly. And I will also be posting a review of said game. Also, since, we've I would have talked about this last week. I also had a time. I had some time to sit down virtually with a uh, pencil and paper creator by the name of Matthew Orr. He has worked on. Let me see if I can get this. Hold on a sec. I can't find the books now. Hold on a sec. He has worked on games such as Wild Skies, Europa Tempest, and Never Going Home. I will be editing that interview, and I will be getting it out in the near future. Oh, see, Sam says, I like this idea. It's too loud right now. Which one? The intro, the outro, or both? Because I can actually change the volume level for both, or if one, because Zelius is currently running at a 50% volume, so he's not breaking your ears. It's the truth, sir. It's the truth.
What is truth?
I don't know. Anyways, this guy, this developer, Matthew Orr, I met him during what do you call it? Nerdburger Con. He was one of my GMs, game masters. For it wasn't one of his games; it was a friend's game, but still, he was a cool guy, and I talked to him and got to interview him. Usually, my interviews are about 20 minutes long, and we ended up basically chit chatting back and forth for almost 50 minutes. So I've got a little bit to edit, and if I can't edit it all, then I'll just do I'll break it into two pieces.
Nice.
Yes, so be on the lookout for that. But while you're waiting, definitely check out, at bare minimum, I mean, you should probably check out Never Going Home, but this one, Wild Skies, Europa Tempest, that one was the one that really intrigued me, and that's the reason why I wanted to interview him. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Was there something else I was supposed to say?
I'm sure there was always something else you're supposed to say. You just never know what it is.
Oh, well, since I have an audience right now, I do have a question for everyone out here there, and that is when you tune in to like a game, a streamer, um, do you go to that streamer because they play a specific game? I mean, if let's say that you're tuning into Alter Confusion, are you looking for me to be playing a specific game all the time, or do you like streamers that bounce around a lot? I mean, because I feel like there are streamers out there who they're IRL streamers, and that's all they do is IRL, and they've got those people who are like hardcore Smite, that's all they play, or Call of Duty or Battlefield 1. Do you think it's advantageous for me to play a variety of games, or do you think I should take the stream nights and do a specific game?
Well, I think if you're looking for viewers, I honestly think it's advantageous to play a variety of games. And if you find a game that people tune into because they're searching for games, then play that game.
So basically, play different games until you find an audience, and then stick with that one
Pretty much.
until you can't take it no more. Then you just basically start spinning the wheel again. Because that,
Or
to
at
be
that
honest with,
point,
hmm,
well, let's get that point because you stream 3 nights a week. Maybe
yeah.
if you find that one game, you only do that like one night, one of those 3 nights, so you don't burn yourself out.
Well, to
But
be
you
honest with you,
still
I
keep that momentum going over time.
well, I think most of the games that I think would probably bring in the biggest audience are going to be competitive games. You know, so like a Paladins or a Smite or Legends of
Well, yeah.
Runeterra, where there's going to be variety. It's not, I think that if I were to try to do like a single player RPG and I'd have to stream that, I might go insane. Or the quickest way to really make Charlie go insane is make him stream a turn-based strategy game.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
3 hours on Sunday, then 3 hours on Tuesday. So exciting.
So right now, the most popular game on Twitch is Free Fire game, which I actually know nothing about.
I don't know what that is either. Let's see here. Browsing. What do you? What? Oh, okay. Here we go. Live channels. No, 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 no. Category. Um.
Now, the other game that's been become really popular is called Valheim, which is basically a Steam survival game, or a Viking sandbox survival game.
Yeah.
Has become super popular.
Let's see here. Ah, the the game we were talking about at the beginning of the show that has that's now amassed over was it 150,000 cheaters getting hit by the banhammer. They currently have 130,000 viewers. So maybe all those viewers are the cheaters that can no longer play the game.
Nice.
Yeah, just a quick breakdown here. Free Fire, which oh wait, is that the one we were talking about last week? No, I don't know what. Whatever. I have to look this up now. Battlegrounds, Ultimate Survivor. Yeah, this is the one that we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Now you gotta make me pull up the damn thing, Zelius. Way to
I
go.
try.
Making me work. Damn it. This is the game that ain't it the game that got hit with like the humongous ban
Oh,
recently?
was that game?
I thought that was this game. Was that game, I think. Of course, now I could be totally wrong, so I've got to look it up because that's what I do. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is the one that banned over 30 million cheaters. Green of Free Fire. That's exactly it. That's the game.
Oh, this is
It's it.
boring.
I do like to when you go on to Twitch. For those of you who don't know what the hell we're doing, we're looking at Twitch and looking at the most most viewed channels, and the channels are broken down by either most of them are games. So you got like a game, then you've got the just chatting one, which is more like IRL in real life, by the way. But you got that Green of Free Fire, then you've got a ton of people in Grand Theft Auto 5. Of course, you have your humongous Minecraft, Valorant. Ooh, where is okay? So Valorant is sitting at 180,000 viewers. Where is Overwatch? Ooh, just under 20,000.
A little bit of a difference.
Yeah. And I, of course, am wearing my Overwatch Pro League hat backwards, the Atlanta Reign. Go Reign!
Have you watched any of their matches lately?
To be honest with you, I haven't really watched any sports, period. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, I've been really freaking busy. And two, the stuff that I really want to watch, I can't because the regional sports networks, basically Fox Sports, Fox Sports South, basically Fox Sports, blah blah blah.
Yep.
They're not available on basically almost any service. There's only like one service you can watch that stuff on, or you can just go to a bar, which I can't do right now because of COVID.
Well, that sucks.
Yes. Oh. See, here's the thing. Oh crap! I just lost the damn page. Oh damn it! I hate when things refresh and then the information you were looking for. Ah, here we go. So you have Overwatch has, which is a first-person shooter, it's got a pro league, everything like that, has just under 20,000 viewers. There is a category called slots, which is it's a gambling slot machine, which has 30,000 viewers. So people want to watch. Are these actual slot machines? I mean, what is it? Yeah, it's just actual slot machines or digital slot machines. People are just watching this. How? Why? People watch the weirdest stuff. Can I just say that? People watch the weirdest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, are you still there? Is Sam Grizzle still in the audience? I need to know. need to know. That's my singing voice, by the way.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, damn, I forgot about.
Cardio.
All right, Celius, you need to run away. Run away like little baby. Does the Pope wear a funny hat? Uh, yes. Sam, good news. My son is getting into chess, like big time.
Oh dear.
He still gets really, really sad by the fact that I can destroy him, but he's all of a sudden gained a passion for it. So I'm going to try to nurture that along with his basketball passion and all that stuff. God bless Charlie Jr. Or technically, I guess it would be Charlie the Fourth, since I'm the third. But anyways, I'm going to unfortunately end this stream. I need to chat with Zelius for just a second, but I will be back on at least on Sunday. But of course, if you subscribe and turn on your notification on Twitch, on Facebook, and YouTube, you can find out anytime that I stream, just in case I try to